Hey everyone, Jim back with you again for another day of devotional in the Word of God. Today we are here, and if you wonder how to catch this, I think I've figured it out, but I've said that before, the technology. So in case you want to keep checking with us live and you haven't been able to do so, or you're confused of how that is and how come some days it's there and some days it's not, what I've discovered is that when I live stream on YouTube and on Jim Folletti on Facebook, not real Jim Folletti, but Jim Folletti, because I have two Facebook accounts, long story. Those two are live streamed. So everything else, I have two other channels as well. They are not live streamed. I put them on later. The reason why we do that is because it seems to be more reliable. So it seems very reliable when you're just doing the two streams. And so far, the past couple of days, it's been reliable. We've had issues with the camera, but I think I have most of that figured out. If not, I'll probably get another camera as well, probably another microphone here in the near future because I don't like the way it sounds. Enough about all that. It's not really important. But it is if you're relying on coming online and joining us live. And particularly down the road, we may have some questions or so on and so forth. And live would be the best way to do that. So anyway, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. And of course, on YouTube is the best way to track with everything that I've ever done since for a while now. So if you want to do that, or if you want to invite somebody, that's probably the best way to get familiar. And everything is in playlists and everything. And we kind of go from there. Okay. So today we're in Revelation 7. Now, yesterday I kind of did a little bit of a kind of a orientation, if you will, to Revelation 7 about Israel, because that is such an important part of what's going on here and the promise that was given to the sons of Abram, which was Isaac and then Jacob. And Jacob being Israel, essentially. And in the process of doing that, I wanted to explain where they come up with these 12 tribes that we're going to talk about today. And I will do that. And they, of course, are the 12 sons of Israel, creating 12 tribes, calling them and being Israel. And the reality is that the idea is that we are essentially going to get into a section with Revelation 7, 1 to 8, that discusses all this stuff when it comes to these tribes. And why that? Why is it why am I spending a lot of time on it? Well, I'm spending a lot of time on it because it's a very unusual act. And let's read it and you'll get what I'm saying here. It's a very unusual thing that happens in the middle of God's plan of the Great Tribulation. He does this thing and you're just like, why? And that's important to understand. And it lays a lot. I want to tell you that if you really didn't understand the role of Israel, by the end of today, you should understand who Israel really is and the importance of Israel. It is probably way beyond what you've thought. I'm almost positive. So let's take a look. Let's read it. Okay, so we have it here. And again, this is John at 7:1. And John's perception, he says this. He says, after I saw four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, holding back the four winds of the earth, so that no wind would blow on the earth or on the sea or any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the rising of the sun, having a seal of the living God. And he cried out with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, quote, do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we have sealed the bondservants of our God on their foreheads. And I heard the number of those who were sealed to be 144,000, sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, there were 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000 from the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000 from the tribe of Simeon, 12,000 from the tribe of Levi, 12,000 from the tribe of Issachar, 12,000 from the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000, and from the tribe of Joseph, 12,000, and from the tribe of Benjamin were 12,000 were sealed. Now, why? Okay, what is important about this? I'm going to jump right into it because I really want you to see this. Okay, so this is right after Revelation 6. He's in the middle of the tribulation. Prior to this, just prior to this, in chapter 6, he was talking about earthquakes and blood moons and just devastation coming upon the earth. Not full devastation and no death per se, but a lot of bad stuff happening. And then he says this, while this is going on, right after this, I saw these four angels standing at the four corners of the earth. What is the four corners of the earth? North, south, east, and west. The entire planet, essentially. But what were they doing? They were holding back the four winds of the earth. What are these winds? These are the judgment winds, the winds that these angels are going to usher in more destruction. And he held it back so that no wind would blow on the earth or on the sea or any tree. In other words, calm. Think of the eye of a storm. Okay, so you got the hurricane coming, and then the eye of the storm comes and just stops, and everything is calm for a moment. He does this twice. He does it here, and he does it in the next seal. And then two different reasons. And then what does John see? He goes, I saw another angel. So this is to the four, there's another angel, the fifth. And he's ascending and rising from the sun. So he's coming from out of where the sun rises, probably from the east, I'm guessing. And what does he have? He has the seal of the living God. And he cried out with a loud voice to the four angels. So he's coming up out of the sun and he cries out to them. Okay, now this is probably in the spiritual realm. Okay? So this is in the spiritual realm. This is probably nothing that you're visually seeing if you're sitting on the earth. This in the spiritual world, he's crying out with a loud voice to the four angels. And these four angels were granted to harm all this, to harm the planet. They were in the middle of it. But he said this, he says, do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees until what? Until we have sealed the bondservants of our God on their foreheads. All right, who's there? And what is the seal? Okay, so if you can imagine, what's happening is he's rising up out of the thing, from the east where the sun rises. He comes in and he says, stop a moment. We got a seal. So he's got a seal. He's got a way of sealing them, marking them. Okay, the better thing would be a mark. Now, what is this alluding to? This is alluding to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, in the book of Ezekiel, there is a mark happening. There's a bunch of people that are weeping about Israel's continual idol worship. And they are just weeping. And they are weeping over Israel because they know they're turning their back on the Lord. That's what's going on in Ezekiel. And why do I bring it up? Well, I bring it up because what is given to these people in Ezekiel's day is a mark. So he carries on his wrist a way to mark people's foreheads. And they think it's an X. So he marks on their foreheads an X. And that means don't harm these people, the ones that are weeping, because they're aware of what's going on. They're the one who are critically, so they're marked. That's where this comes from. Now the angel is doing the same thing. He's rising up and he's marking these, quote, 144,000. Okay? He's marking these people. But he's marking where? He's marking their foreheads. Why? To not be harmed. Like Passover almost. He's marking them to not be harmed. Harmed for what? For what's coming. Okay? Now, the question is why is he marking them, and how are they worthy to be marked? They're worthy in two ways. Okay? And it doesn't really say here, but we can assume it's very similar to the way it happened in Ezekiel. These were people who were aware of the cheating nature, if you will, of the people in Israel, meaning they were cheating or they were not being faithful to God. This is a key element. If I'm going to speak anything to do with the key of what's important in understanding what is going on here. Okay, this is a little bit deep, but I want you to understand it. It is a very broad and missed understanding of what's going on between God and Israel. Okay? If you remember yesterday, we spoke and we talked about God's chosen people. I am going to choose you, Abraham. Your seed, I'm choosing. I'm making a people. God is creating a people. They are God's people. They are not their own. Okay? As I mentioned yesterday, Abraham didn't ask for this. It just happened. Okay? So in the midst of them doing this, God is choosing his people. And he expects his people to be loyal. They're God's chosen people. I want to just drive that home. They didn't pick God, God picked them. By his word, he chose them. And yet, they, in Ezekiel and in other places, after they're chosen to be God's people from the line of Abram, he creates what? He has the sons, right? Jacob has the sons, the 12 sons of Israel, which are the 12 tribes. He has 12 sons and one daughter. He has these 12 sons, and they're named for each of these tribes we see here. And in the process of seeing that, in the process of being that chosen, they have a responsibility. And that is to be faithful to the one who's chosen them. But they're not. They are unfaithful. They have other idols, other gods. And you see that throughout the Old Testament. They are not faithful. And God, in Ezekiel, he not only, after he marks them, he tells the others in the town, in Jerusalem, to kill men, women, old men, children, everybody, because of their idol worship. What does it say about God? He's jealous. Now, we can get into this reason why he's jealous. It's not the reason why an abusive husband is jealous. It's not the same thing. It's not about his insecurity. It's not about that he needs a wife. And without his wife, he's incomplete. It is about his word. It's his name. He says, I am God, you are my people. But you, as people, have what? Free will. Okay? Israel has free will. Just the way we have free will. And anybody else who says we don't have free will have no idea what they're talking about. You see it in Israel. They're God's chosen people. Are they all chosen? Are they all holy? No. They are not. They choose idol worship. They choose other gods. So what does God do? Does he make them choose him? No. He judges them. Because they are not abiding by what he created that nation. Okay? He created it. Now, with that, so he seals them. And then you have the same thing here, right? Let's look at it. He comes back. This is so many years, thousands of years later. He does doing the same thing. He stops all of the great tribulation, pauses like the eye of the storm, pauses and says, hold on. God says, I am faithful. And when he's stopping everything and he's sealing them, he is proving his faithfulness to the Jews, to Israel. Okay? And it is Israel. It is the nation of Israel, because Israel was a nation that came from Jacob, who was renamed Israel. So by stating the name Israel, you are stating the name Jacob. You are stating all the sons from Abram. Okay? Just want to be really clear with that. Now, he is being faithful. So God is faithful. He is being faithful. He is the one fulfilling his covenant side. Okay? God is fulfilling his covenant by this right here. He is saying, I am stopping. And I am still a faithful bridegroom. Even though you have been unfaithful, to such a point that you even killed my son, the Messiah. I am still faithful. I am still gracious. I am still waiting until you come to me. And finally, these will come. Right here. These tribes, he seals them. Why does he seal them? Well, as we just discussed, the first reason was his faithfulness. But the second reason is that they came to faith. Okay? So the tribulational period prior to this was all ushering in to bring upon to them the need, and they saw the need of Jesus. There was something that happened in them. It doesn't explicitly say that, and I need to bring that out. It does not explicitly say they believed in Jesus, but that is the insinuation. Because you're not going to be sealed. You're sealed typically with what? The Holy Spirit, right? So the idea that you're being sealed without the Holy Spirit or not knowing Jesus is probably not going to happen, because that's not consistent with Scripture. So, but here's the question. Are these 144,000 that are sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel, is it accurately 144,000? So this is the question, okay? So we have a couple of questions here, and I think I need to bring this out. I'm not going to give you an opinion. I'm just going to give you common understanding of what this is saying. You see these numbers, right? 144,000, and then you have these 12,000 in each tribe, and you have 12 tribes. 12 tribes, 12,000 in each, thus bringing 144,000. These number 12 is a very significant number. Like 7, we talked about the 7 churches and everything else. These 12,000 from every tribe, 12 apostles, 12 pearls, right? 12 gates in heaven. Okay? Very much about completion, fullness. Okay? So the common understanding, and I would agree with this, though it is not specifically spoken of, I would agree with this opinion, that this is the number of completeness, not in the sense like the 7, but in the sense of fulfillment or full. The full amount that was supposed to be there will come. all those apportioned would be a better word for this time, will come to the foot of the cross and be saved and be sealed. Okay, so that is the key. The fullness of that which will come about here. So that's what this is probably pointing to. Now, there is a couple of other things you need to know about that is a little confusing in here. And I do not want to run from that. There are 12 tribes, and he says, sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. There's only one problem. There's one tribe that is not here. Now there is 12 tribes, but there's one tribe that's missing. And you need to know that. The tribe of Dan is missing. So there's 12 tribes, and the tribe of Dan is missing, but how is there still 12 tribes? Because right here in the tribe of Manasseh, this tribe is actually the tribe that's from the son of Joseph. So this is actually two tribes of the son of Joseph. Okay? Now, is this a mistake? Hardly a mistake. It is definitely not a mistake. It's intentional. Whether or not the tribe of Joseph gets double credit or double blessing here or something along those lines because of Joseph and who he was, I don't know. We don't know. It'd be pure opinion and speculation. But we know the tribe of Dan. Now, what is it about Dan that we can surmise that would be important? What are the things that we can surmise? Well, we can surmise that Dan, okay, so there's 12 tribes. These 12 tribes are not because that they're not perfect, or because that they're perfect tribes and that's why they're included here. No, they're not. These people, the tribe of Benjamin in particular, these are not very good people. And they came from multiple mothers. They came from Leah. They came from Rachel. They came from some of these slave women. So it's got nothing to do with the mothers either. It's got to do with, obviously, they're the tribes of Jacob. But why is one excluded? Because Dan, his tribe, engages in a ton of what? Idol worship. Where the others do not. None of these other tribes really engage in any real idol worship by any large extent. But the tribe of Dan does. And there you go. A judgment. What you're seeing is a judgment. You're seeing that the entire tribe of Dan, those who are the lineage of Dan, are not sealed in this end times, are not sealed with the Spirit. In other words, they don't come to the foot of the cross. They don't come to Jesus. They're not saved here during these end days. Their lineage, whoever these people are, their genealogy, their lineage is not good to them. And I don't understand all the ramifications, but Dan is not here. So that goes again to show you how important God takes idol worship. Sin is one thing. God doesn't want you to do it. Sin is one thing. But more importantly to God than sin is having other gods before Jesus, before God. Idol worship. That's the big deal here. So, to close this out, what are we coming to? God is faithful to his name, and he's faithful to his covenant. When he makes a covenant, it's serious. The Jews are the chosen people. The Gentiles are not the chosen people. I don't know how to say this any more clear. Okay? You walking around with I'm a Christian and I'm great and I'm this and I'm that and I'm chosen by God. You're not. You're grafted in. If you're not a Jew, you're grafted into the line of David through the root. And thankful be to Christ. And anyone who accepts Jesus, no matter Jew or Gentile, is now accepted by the new covenant that was made. The new covenant is with Jesus, and that's why we're saved. But the Jews are the chosen people. And I want to be really clear about that. The Jews are the chosen people of God. And they are held to, so let me, and how do you know this? Let me tell you how you know it. All the judgment that we see over all of human history, including into our own history, all the judgment that we witness of the nation of Israel is the act of a bridegroom furious with his adulterous wife. So the Nazis, everything you see is judgment upon Israel. Now you say, well, they're winning. They do, but they also lose a lot of people. October 7th, on and on and on. God allows it because of the judgment of an adulterous people. Because they are chosen. They are chosen. And they are in the covenant. We as Gentiles are of the new covenant. Fantastic. But don't mix it up. We are not God's chosen people. We are grafted into the chosen people. So, just the way a bride would be of their husband, and the husband is really going to be very attentive to his bride. That's the way God is to his bride, Israel. And we are going to see this coming up in the book of Revelation. The big judgment in front of the world. It's a statement of God saying, I am faithful and my bride is not. But yet, with all that being said, he still has grace by sealing his people prior to what we're going to get into here in the next couple of sessions. And that's the wrath of God. This is what's happening. The wrath of God is about to occur. And he seals his people on their forehead. And that's the grace of God. Because even while Israel is not faithful, God is. And that's what's important to hear and to know. So I hope this gives you a new insight into what's going on here. But understand, the most important thing that you take from this is that God is faithful, God is loving, but God is a just God, and he's a jealous God. And when he makes a covenant of relationship, he means it. And you're going to see it played out. And then when he comes to avenge the death of the martyrs, to avenge the death of his people, all his people, Gentiles and Jews alike. Okay? And he will. But when you see that, you'll see a loving father, a loving bridegroom coming to get his people and the bride, which is his church. Ultimately. Right? So anyway, I hope this has been somewhat eye-opening. It has been for me in studying this. Tomorrow we get into the Gentiles a little more. And it's going to be glorious. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Take care.